Welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel. My name is Michelle. I'm the indie author of 6 published works, and today we're going to be doing an introduction video into one of my other pen names. This is part 2. Last week, or whenever I decided to post it, so this might be the second video that you're seeing of me this week, I'm not sure. You guys got to meet one of my alters who goes under the pen name Amaris. I am somebody who has a dissociative disorder. I'm not sure what type of dissociative disorder. All I know is I have different parts and alters, and with that comes different identities, I guess. I don't know exactly how to describe it. But yeah, so last week you got to meet one of the alters who makes up the Maris system. And today we are going to let Grace, who is very much present right now as I'm talking, talk about her world and kind of why she writes and things like that. So let's get into it. Hello, hi, my name is Grace Kitz. Grace Kitz, sorry, not Grace Kitz. I am one of the authors here in this Chaotic Kids system. I write YA contemporary Christian fiction with a young and coming of age story. I currently have an idea for 4 books I have an idea for 4 books to write, then publish. Yeah, I don't really know what to say right now, so we're just gonna get into the story and kind of what else in my box and stuff like that. So let's get into it. So I have an idea for 4-book series. With my series, you don't need to read book 1 to understand what happens in book 2. And you don't have to read book 1 to understand what happens in book 3, if that makes sense. So they're all standalones. I'm just putting them in a series because I heard that series sell better for indie authors. Even though I would really I know it's a goal for all of us in the system to have books represented by an actual publishing house, or actual seems weird, wrong words, but a traditional publishing, or at least an indie publishing place. And ours is not the right word, since mine are more grounded almost, and not ours, I don't know how to put this, since ours aren't exactly Maris's world, there's many different books, and it'll be switching out different genres and stuff. That one is more of a series than my books. You have to read, well, you don't have to, but they're all interconnected, and it's weird if you were just to publish one of them and not publish the rest. And then with Shelly's just a massive world that's got different seasons, and I don't know. We're new as an author, and it's hard to say that people, well, with Shelly, it's hard to say that if people will pick it up, and stuff. But for me, Grace, I would kind of like to be a traditionally published author, at least a small indie press publishing house. And since I write Christian fiction books, I feel like I have a better chance. But also, I don't know, it depends on how we feel at the time we're maybe possibly querying. We don't even have a book written yet, we just have an idea, so, obviously it's going to change. But so we have an idea for a 4-book series, or standalone books, but they're all set in the same world, in the same, so ours is divided into a classroom. So we're thinking junior, senior year, where a new kid comes into school. That's where it starts with. A new kid comes into school, and these are four friends that come together to, well, 3 friends that come to inspire the young one, the other guy. But realistically, it's not like that at all, because the other 3 aren't friends with each other. There's 2 that are friends. Then, I don't know, we'll get into the whole storyline and stuff. Sorry, I'm playing with this. It's helping me keep grounded. But so I guess we'll just talk about our book series a little bit. So, like I said, there's 4 books. I'll tell you each character's name, because it might likely change, and give you a little background information on it. So the first one we're going to start with is J.J. Sutton. JJ stands for Julius John, which actually has something to do with our grandpa, who is no longer with us, but my grandma always called him JJ. He is the one that was getting us started. He was originally homeschooled, but ended up later having to get thrown into school because of some family issues. And he also has a deacon grandfather, so somewhat of a priest grandfather. I lost that pen. But that is kind of how he's learning about his grandfather, and it's just really a coming of age story of him learning himself, because he always felt like a black sheep in his family that was not Christian or Catholic, but now he's really finding himself in the Catholic faith. Then the next one is Gracie McCoy. Gracie is what you embodied as the perfect Christian girl, Catholic. I'm just gonna say Christian and Catholic. I'm gonna switch around because I've never understood the difference between them. But so Gracie McCoy, she what people would embody as the perfect Christian girl. But realistically, she suffers a lot with depression, and she has a lot of pressure because her mom is in the ministry, and she just never truly was able to identify herself, if that makes sense. Yeah. And then the third book we would be following is Aaliyah Byer. Sorry, I don't know all their last names. Aaliyah Byer, she is a friend of Gracie's. She also would embody the perfect Christian Christian girl. Again, just stereotypes. They will eventually get explained later, why. I keep losing my pens. Okay, I'm just gonna move my fingers. But she again embodies a very Christian Catholic girl, and she more embodies it than Grace does, just because Grace has a lot of depression and has a lot of family trauma. But I feel like Aaliyah knows who she is, and the reason why she knows who she is because she can. Is she the one who sees it or hears it? She connects with spirits, holy spirits. So her inspiration was because of, so Gracie was inspired kind of by us, because we wanted to be Catholic faith, religious, but at the same point we struggled because we were depressed a lot. Aaliyah has the ability to see ghosts, spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them. She has the ability to see and hear them. No, she see and hear them. And I guess she really does embody the world. I don't know. Self-acceptance is what she says. No, I don't know. Okay, she has, I'm just reading what I have written down, struggles with fitting in and showing her true self, because she kind of hides her ability to see and hear people, see ghosts from a school. Outside of school she shares about it, inside school it doesn't happen as much, and whenever school finds out, that's kind of what's going to happen. The fourth one that we're going to follow is Martha Davis, who is a twin. Now, this one also, Martha and Aaliyah's go together pretty well, because Martha is able to hear the spirits, and get a connection with them as well. But Martha's twin, who's, I think her name is Mary? Yeah. Mary is a very popular kid who uses her sister's abilities to impact her popularity, if that makes sense. And so because Martha is always in her sister's shadow, she's going to eventually have to break out, and that's whenever Aaliyah is having problems with social acceptance of herself, that's whenever Martha's gonna be I get what you're going through, I can help you, kind of thing. And then at the end, like, those two will still be separate books, but in the end, um, Aaliyah will go into a missionary kind of style job, and then I think Martha was going to go into, oh, she was just going to gain confidence in herself, so she's gonna still stay in the shadows, but she's gonna help Aaliyah whenever it needs to come. So those are my four main characters in the stories that's gonna progress, and kind of how like Maris has, like, we all have color codes based on our stories, if that makes sense. So I don't know if this makes sense or anymore. Anyways, but we have four colors for each representing each one of the stories. These were just completely accidental colors. They have no rhyme or reason to it. We've got dark green, lime green, like a magenta, and a light blue. Like I said, these colors have no rhyme or reason to them. It was just, we have a pack of, I think, 10 pens, and those were just the four that we picked out, kind of thing. We have Sharpies for them, and we don't have highlighters for it just because Maris took all the good ones. I'm kidding, somewhat. But yes, that's the world. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. We have, instead of sticky notes, we write with note cards. And we're planning on like doing it color coded style maybe, or we just have plain white ones that we might do. But yes, that is kind of our world. And like I said, I would prefer if I was able to traditionally publish these, or like traditionally or small indie presses. Yeah, but I'm not like, that's not going to be any time in the near future, I don't believe, just because we are writing 3 other book series, you know, and we haven't even started writing ours currently. I'll also show you the notebook that we write in. So this one we got from one of our Christian, or a Catholic, our local Catholic shop. It's got Saved by Grace written across it. We just have it starting with JJ's story. And we have, well, we don't have any brainstorming notes yet for JJ's, but we just restarted this notebook. Because we had tried that much before, but it never felt right. This one hopefully will make it feel right. But we're starting with JJ's story. If I can pick up my note cards. Yeah, and like I said, I would prefer if this was like a traditionally or like indie published house, instead of through us, just because I feel like it wouldn't, I don't know. I want to say it looks more professional, but at the same point, like, mine I feel like has a better chance. I don't know. I really don't know. I think it has something to deal with the fact that, like, we have a person in our near town that also writes, she writes more devotionals than fiction books, but we're kind of inspiring to be like her in a way. Does that make sense? I don't know. But that is a little bit about myself. I need to sneeze right now, and I don't think there's anything else I need to say. And I will see you guys next week whenever we do Shelly's, or whenever we decide to post it. We'll see you guys when we do Shelly's. So see ya.